All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you could see my screen, let me know. I'm going to do a quick screen share. Just type in yes into the chat. That would be great. Give me a yes if you could see my screen. Fantastic. We're going to talk about building a high profit, low stress online coaching business and some super fast strategies to generate some hot new leads this week. So let's just get started. We're all here. We're spending our time and energy away from friends and family to be here for this next hour. So what is your biggest intention? If I could just wave a magic wand and give you the biggest intention for your business, for your life, what would it be? What would be the best hour spent together? If you could type down in the chat, that'd be great. What's your biggest intention out of our time together right now? Please let me know. Type that into the chat. What would you like to get out of our time together? For some reason, I cannot see the chat. Oh. Give me one moment. Okay, boom, boom, boom. All right. As you're typing your intentions, the biggest thing I want to focus on is really getting clear on maximizing this beautiful present moment that we have, right? Still being in quarantine, still being in a place where, we're all working from home. How can we maximize our time together, but also give back into the world? So when it comes to growing your online business, you're only focused on two main things every single day, okay? If you do these two things, you'll be successful, you'll impact a lot of lives, and at the same time, you'll generate a lot of abundance, okay? What do you think these two things are? So if you could type that into the chat, I would love to hear what you think the two most important things that you should be doing on a daily basis to grow your business. What are those two things? All right. So we have connection and adding value. Okay, adding value is one of them. Prospecting and closing. Engagement and value. Yes. Adding value and making offers. Ebony, you got it right. Inhale and exhale, that's very important as well. But it is that, being able to add massive value to others while at the same time being in a position where we're making offers. Okay, Jim Rohn said it best. Your value is directly in correlation to the amount of money you make. You want to make more money, add more value. But on the other end of the spectrum, you have people on YouTube and Instagram that have millions of followers that are adding a ton of value, but they're not making a lot of money. So the secret is to create offers that are aligned with what your clients want, okay? So add value and make offers, simple as that. So we're gonna go into how to generate your ideal offers in this point in time, okay? So once you have something called an aligned offer, that is an offer that converts extremely well, right? So I have a 7-figure online coaching business. And before that, I had an online fitness business. Now, both of these businesses got to the top with one specific aligned offer. Now, an aligned offer is an offer that converts extremely well. When you put it out into the marketplace, a lot of people raise their hands and they want to buy from it. So what I mean by that is you could build your entire business on one main aligned offer. I'm going to go into some exercises to make that a possibility this evening, okay? So if you have an aligned offer, just type in aligned. Aligned means that this specific offer makes you money every time you post it on Facebook, Instagram. It's an online offer that generates money. So it's obviously few people have it, and those that do tend to monetize their audience a lot better. And that's one thing I want to help you do, because everything gets easier when you have an aligned offer. Your marketing gets easier because every post you make, you know exactly what to give to people, what to talk about. Your entire sales process, you just say, here's my offer, here's who it's for, and here's the results that you get. People nod their head, okay, I want to buy it. So this is the most important thing, because it's very easy for all of us to add value, right? We're putting out great content on social media. We're inspiring people. We're giving them great tips. But having the aligned offer is the secret to take us to the promised land, okay? It's the secret to the lovely world of Team No Pants, okay? Again, Team No Pants is having an online business where pants are optional, okay? So we want to get there as fast as possible by, number one, crafting an aligned offer and marketing that, selling that aligned offer, and then building the whole back end around that, okay? So once you have your aligned offer, it's very easy to get online leads, okay? So right here, we're going to talk about lead generation. So who knows the 3 ways to get leads online? There's only 3 ways to get clients online. What are those? Who wants to take a guess? Okay. Now, a business that gets to $1 million typically gets leads in all 3 different ways, but you could literally get to $100,000, $200,000 business with just one lead generation system. Okay. So Carla says webinars, emails, ads, getting close. I'll show you on the next slide. I'll run right through it. That is basically paid traffic, positioning, and partnerships, okay? Now we're going to focus mainly on positioning. Positioning is social media marketing, getting people from your social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, in terms of your clientele. What I love about this type of marketing, it's free. You don't have to spend any money. And if you get it right, your positioning could build a really solid business, because it's all about having the right offer at the right time. Okay. So, sorry, this slide thing keeps coming into this screen. Paid traffic is using Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Google ads. You don't have to worry about that. You want to exhaust your free marketing. And then partnership is working with someone who has your ideal clientele. Let's say you focus on busy moms, and you know someone has a Facebook group for busy moms, giving them fashion and lifestyle tips. You have an online fitness program for busy moms. You partner with them. And you say, hey, every mom that joins from your group, I'll give you 20% of the sales. You have a group full of 20,000 moms. That's a win-win situation for both of you, okay? Paid traffic, like I said, is a whole nother animal. I'm not going to cover that right now, but you could totally use positioning, free social media marketing this week to get people signed up, okay? Now, obviously, before you even create your aligned offer, you want to talk about selling people what you love, and that's what it's all about, okay? So a big part of having an offer that converts well and you're excited and happy to share with people is selling the thing that you love the most. You'll go on top of the mountain, scream it out to people. You'll be in a position where every single person you talk to, you'll tell them about it. So we're going to create that. So most importantly, you're able to get likes. So you get leads and not likes. Leads and not likes from your social media. A lot of us are good at getting likes, but you can't pay your bills with likes. So we're going to talk about how to take those people that follow you and turn them into clients, okay? And it's all about your content. Your content marketing focus is finding your sweet spot, all right? So one of my favorite things is peanut butter. And why I talk about peanut butter and my love for it is a big part of sharing my passion with people, because the most important thing you have on social media is your authenticity, right? Your personality. People buy from coaches, right? From the person, not so much the program, or the features. So the more you share your authenticity and personality, the more we share our sweet spot, okay? So right now, talk about 3 things or 3 quirks about you that make you unique, right? So I'll share with mine, like I'm addicted to peanut butter. I cannot have that inside the house. I'll eat an entire jar in one sitting, right? I love taking naps. I try to take a nap every single day. It's a big part of my happiness and my success. And another quirk is I do stand-up comedy. So I perform stand-up comedy as a hobby for fun. So what are some quirks about you or your personality? Maybe it's a food that you like, maybe it's something you're passionate about, or a weird hobby that you have. And I just want to hear some of your quirks in the chat. So let's see what those are. Okay. Mr. Fat Loss loves fat loss. Yes, Emil is known as Mr. Fat Loss. 100%. Carla is very funny. She loves coffee and vintage trucks and cars. Yakalis is a running queen. I think she recently did a half marathon, and she's going to be doing a full marathon. Yes. So, like, what are some weird quirks that make you unique? Mini eggs and mountain biking. I like that. Please describe the mini eggs, Andrew. I love push-ups. You're one of the few that do. What are some quirks about you that make you unique? What makes you unique and quirky? We have some good ones. Running, peanut butter, naps, eggs. Ebony loves everything to do with the beach, Caribbean music, international travel, and Reese's peanut butter cups. Woo! Improv, crazy Back to the Future movies, and Friday the 13th fan, lucid dreaming. Manny's great at improv. Yakalis ice cream, battle rap, stupid dad jokes, trail running, sunset, finding humor in tragedy. Yes. Okay. Andrew says mini eggs with the crisp candy shell. Now I understand. Now I know what the mini egg is. So what are some quirks about you that make you unique? Okay. I would love to know what that is. Dark humor. Yes. Talking too much. Okay. So these are good to kind of note your quirks, and why that's relevant is I'm going to go into the next slide to talk about that. Okay. Because the biggest thing that I've learned with social media marketing, especially to get your message out into the world, is that prolific beats perfect. Okay. So there's a lot of different studies on the content on social media. The one study is it better to post high quality content less often, or decent quality content more often? And the studies show that the more content you post, the better you're going to do on social media. In fact, there's people that post 3 times a day, and they're going to far outperform the person who posts 3 to 4 times a week, right? From the simple mathematics of it. Most importantly, on social media, the news feed has an algorithm. So everyone doesn't see your content all the time, and essentially maybe 10 to 20% of your followers actually see it. It's usually the same people that see it all the time. So the more often you post, the better that you do. So I myself, I post 2 times a day. That's my sweet spot. And I usually use Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and my email list. Now, I'm not saying you have to post 2 times a day or 3 times a day, but at least once a day is going to make the biggest difference, especially when you use the framework I'm going to share with you next. Now, the most important thing when it comes to success in any type of coaching or service-based business is authenticity, right? You get paid more for who you are and not what you do, right? People buy coaches and not coaching. They're buying you, your personality, your transparency, how genuine you are, how honest you are, how reliable you are, right? Your own values and authorities. And I found this myself because back in the day, I wouldn't share that much things about myself. And the moment I started sharing my truth, sharing my ups, my downs, my wins, and my failures, that's when my business really exploded, right? So I share a lot of stuff on my social media. If you follow me, losing friends to suicide. I had a very abusive house growing up. My father, he's an alcoholic, and he beat my mom, beat my family, and had a lot of domestic violence. I did a lot of drugs when I was younger, and I overdosed and had to get over drug addiction. Very recently, breaking my leg and all the negativity that came from that. So I'm not scared to share my truth, and I find that's one of the key things that has helped me grow my business, but also grow my following in a powerful way, because people just want transparency, right? There's so many people that are fake, or that they don't really share the behind the scenes, and the more authentic you are, the easier that is. Pat totally says that. You get paid more when you are real. So Pat is a coach. She helps my students and has her own coaching practice. And the great thing about that is she knows who's going to be successful based on how authentic their content is. And the best way to be authentic, and this is how I got started, is I just make a list of the worst things that happened to me, the worst things that I'm ashamed sharing with people, and then I talk about how I turned it around. You can talk about the worst and most negative thing, and if you talk about the inspiration you got out of it, there is nothing that beats that. So if you're finding yourself having vulnerable conversations with your friends or your families, now take that and share it on social media, okay? So I find that I do a vulnerable or authentic post at least once a week. It could be something as simple as a fumble or something that you messed up. Like I made a post about my cooking skills. I will admit I'm a terrible cook. So something along the lines of like, is it normal for the fire alarm to go off when you're cooking? Asking for a friend, okay? So that's real. That's my life. Whenever I cook, the fire alarm goes off because I don't realize sometimes that I'm burning the food. So that's a simple, authentic share, but I'm being real. And I'm like, wow, I should make a post about this. And the key thing is to be vulnerable and end it in an inspirational way. If you end it in an inspirational way, then people know that you're not a victim, just like Pat says, okay? So if I could give you one piece of advice, it'd be doing these two things. You can do this for the next month of your content. Number one is make a list of the worst and most embarrassing things that happened to you, okay? And then think about the inspiration you got out of it. So what are the negative things that happened to you, and what are the inspiration that you got out of it? You could create a lot of great content pieces, videos, and posts just by sharing your authentic story. And one thing I've noticed is like when you go back into the past and say how bad things were, people connect with you a lot more, right? I used to be overweight, 60 pounds overweight. So I have a lot of great stories of when I was overweight and the challenges I had from that point in my life. I grew up very poor. My parents came to this country. We're immigrants. I was a year old. We were on food stamps and welfare for a big part of my life. It was 5 of us living in a 1-bedroom apartment. So I talk about how bad things were to share how good things are now. And if you're kind of going through something right now, you don't have to share what you're going through right now, but share something you overcame 1 year ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago. You never fail with authenticity. So that's one exercise. Make a list of all the challenging things you went through, and then from there, how you overcame it. And Maris asks, what if it's super embarrassing? The more embarrassing, the better, okay? So I just word vomited a lot of embarrassing stuff. I mentioned I was on welfare and food stamps. I had a drug addiction. My father beat me and my mother. Now, as I'm sharing this, do you look at me as less of a person or more of a person, or maybe neutral? The bottom line is, like, I'm sharing it openly. I'm authentic with you, but I don't feel that it makes me less of a man to share the truth. And it's the same thing with you. Oftentimes when we see authenticity, we see it as courageous. Wow, this person's so courageous. But when we do it, sometimes it's very difficult and embarrassing. Trust me, it's not embarrassing. And Maris, if you want to talk about it here in the comments and share, feel free to do it. And then we'll tell you if it's too embarrassing to post publicly. But you cannot fail with authenticity. Another thing about authenticity is being polarizing, okay? Polarity means that you stand for something and you're against something else. The most polarizing people in history are the most successful, okay? Like him or not, Donald Trump, He's extremely polarizing, right? People love him, people hate him. You don't want to be liked. Being vanilla is being liked. So one of the key ways of being polarizing is making a list. Here are the things that I love. Here are the things that I hate. Put a line down a piece of paper. Here's what I love. Here's what I hate. And then from there, you go into the power of being polarizing. Okay? So that's the homework with authenticity. It's very simply, share challenging things you went through. Number two, talk about what you stand for, what you are for, and what you're against. All right? So make a list of those things. Next up, we're going to talk about the other secret of turning your likes into leads, and that is infotainment. Okay? Infotainment is creating content that's informational and entertaining. Okay? So for me, for example, I started doing stand-up comedy. Okay? So 2017 was the first time that I did it. I've always been scared. You know, I stuttered for the first 20 years of my life, so I never thought myself as a public speaker, but I decided to do an open mic night in 2017. I've been doing stand-up comedy since. Why do I do stand-up comedy? Is it because I want to be a professional comedian? No way, Jose. I have no goals of doing comedy as a career, but I do it because it makes my content more engaging and entertaining. So I perform stand-up comedy, and that's what helps my personality. But also I do like funny video skits, or I share my humor and my stories, and I find that this makes my information so much more entertaining. Okay? Here's another time I did stand-up comedy, and this was at Caroline Comedies Club. Okay? Now, this was me performing with the biggest shows that I did. Again, I'm not doing this to make money off of comedy. I'm doing this to help my online coaching business and make me a better communicator. Okay? So let's talk about self-expression. What I want to know about you, let's say I have comedy, but what's your self-expression that you can mix with your content? Last week, we had a gentleman who is a musician, right? He's a singer and a rapper. And we said, you got to combine that with your content. But are you a dancer? Are you an artist? What's like a hobby or a skill that's your artistic expression that we could pair up with your content to make it more entertaining? Okay. So in the chat, if you could just share what is a great art or self-expression. Is it music, singing, playing an instrument, photography? Very good, Carla. Dancing? Yes. Playing the piano? Storytelling? That's great, Manny. Humor? That's mine. That's mine. Being silly, making people laugh at my expense. Silly always wins. Photography and silliness. What's like something that is humorous and fun that basically allows you to make your content more entertaining? Dancing. All right. There's a lot of great things. What's yours? Okay, so I'm just throwing a lot of stuff at you guys, some best practices, but we're going to do a really powerful exercise next that's going to bring this all in full circle. And at the same time, I'm going to give you guys some extra help to craft your aligned offer, and also using the power of authenticity and infotainment to make it better and better and better. Okay, so whatever that creative skill is, now how are you going to mix that with your content? Okay, so there's a lot of different ways to go about it, right? There's beautiful synergy of art and information. Okay, now I'm going to give you guys a really powerful formula of a killer super offer post that you could make. I'm going to show you some screenshots of some of my students, and this is what they made in 1 month organically, right? Just with their Facebook page, without any type of ads, without any type of YouTube, nothing like that, just purely off of Facebook organically, okay? So this is my student, Jamond. He sent me this text. It's not a late night booty call. It just means me happy to hell to inform me that I pulled in $18,600 strictly online in November and $5,600 from my 21-day challenges. Okay, so he made $18,600 his first month going online just from his Facebook account, using what I'm going to share with you guys pretty soon. Okay, Robin, Hey man, not sure if you want to record another coaching workshop with me. Since June, I've been consistently grossing $20,000 to $30,000 a month, and expenses are only $5,000 a month. Been killing it, and you've brought a lot of value and confidence to make that happen. Thank you, AJ. Okay, Robin, $20,000 to $30,000 a month, just off his Facebook alone. Okay, all of this is with one aligned offer that we're going to start working on by the end of this presentation. Okay, this is one of the biggest wins from Erin. She is a life coach, an amazing life coach at that. And this is her totals for February. She made $58,000 in 1 month just off of her personal Facebook account. Okay, so let's now go into how you could craft your offer. I'm not saying you're going to have these crazy monster wins, but I'm just showing you what's possible with just your Facebook account using the power of authenticity, infotainment, and having an aligned offer, okay? So now we're going to start doing some homework, okay, to really get clear on how to pierce through social media and get people to raise their hands and want to work with you, okay? So we're going to do a quick exercise, and if you could just type this into the chat box. Again, we're going to bring this back full circle. Your income is correlated to the value you add and the offers that you make, okay? So we're going to craft a super offer post. And here's the science behind it, okay? I'm looking for 5 of a specific target market, right? To get a specific result in a specific time frame with a call to action, okay? So the example below, I'm looking for 5 personal trainers who want to get 10 new clients, the result, in the next 3 weeks, specific time frame. If that's you, like this post, and I'll message you with more information, okay? The call to action is like this post. So another example, I'm looking for 5 busy moms, target market, to lose 10 to 20 pounds, result in 28 days, specific time frame. If that's you, like this post, I'll message you with the information, okay? So the big question is, what is your super offer post, okay? This is going to be the building blocks, the skeleton of your aligned offer. So if you know what it is, type that into the chat, and we're going to give you a judge of how good it is. Now, the key thing here is to have a specific, tangible result. Specific, tangible result, okay? Andrew, I'm looking for 5 males, 20 to 40 years old, to build 5 pounds of muscle in the next 3 months. That's it. That is a perfect one, Andrew. Ding, ding, ding. Congratulations, okay? He's got the 5 males, specific target market, 5 pounds of muscle, specific result in the next 3 months. Got it, okay? Who's brave enough to share theirs? I'm looking for 5 blank to get specific result in a specific amount of time. So if you know your target market, just start there, start with your target market, and then we can go into the specific result you give them. Because sometimes you may have a coaching program that doesn't have a specific result, and then you want to word it in a way that's more tangible, okay? So who else would like to share? All right, Yakalis, very good. I'm looking for 5 moms to lose 5 to 10 pounds in 12 weeks. That's it. Very good. Yakalis, you nailed it. Simple as that. Carla, I'm looking for 5 conscious, ambitious entrepreneurs who want to build their health and energy to peak performance in the next 90 days so they can fully share their gifts with the world. Okay? That's very, very good. I love the 5 conscious, ambitious entrepreneurs. I would just make the health and energy a little bit more tangible. What's a more tangible way that you could explain that? Okay, like for example, high energy. How to have energy all day long without drinking coffee, okay? That's like a more specific way to talk about energy that has like a visual metaphor. Emil says, I'm looking for 5 women, 35 years old, recently divorced or newly single, that are pissed off, that want to change their life in 16 weeks. Okay? I'm looking for 5 women, 35 years old, recently divorced. That's a really good demographic. I would change the results to change their life to something more specific. What's like a tangible thing that a divorced woman would like to have that would make her want to raise her hand? You know, because if they like the post, then you can message them to want to work with them. So we're getting very hot here, warm here, and that's a key thing where I really want to help you guys with this offer, and that's one of the things I'm doing with the 7-day challenge, because once you get this dialed in and more specific, the better. Then from there, your business is going to get a lot easier, you know, because again, it's going to be easier for you to do the authentic content, the comedy, the infotainment, but the hardest thing is to nail your aligned offer. But this super offer post is like the skeleton behind that. I'm going to give you guys more support and help with dialing that in. I'm looking for 5 40 and up busy moms to lose 5 kilograms in 30 days. That is perfect. I love that. That is very, very on point, very solid. You nailed that one. So anyone who wants to share, just keep going there. I'm going to go into our next slide. So I'm going to share with you a story of one of my students who turned to a great friend of mine. This is Tyler Kelly, and he dialed in his offer very, very quickly. You know, he started working with me back in 2016. At the time, he was 23 years old, came to one of my seminars, and like a bat out of hell, just really took massive action with his online business and grew it quite substantially, right? Started off $10,000 his first month with his aligned offer, and then scaled up to $20,000, $30,000 a month, you know, at the young age of 23. You know, now he's a few years older, of course. That was a few years ago, but he accomplished a lot of great things. One thing he did was he bought his father a car, and this is a great thing he posted on Facebook, that his father got the gift of a lifetime by having him a new car because of his business growth. And, you know, that's one of the greatest things about my father a car this last Christmas. Best feeling ever, and that's the art of abundance. And that's the biggest thing I want to do with you guys, is to create a specific aligned offer, because that's really like any business. It's all focused on that one offer. Once you have the one offer dialed in, then the income grows. It's easy to get leads. It's easy to translate your value in a very simple way. And one of the things I want to help you guys do is to craft your aligned offer, because this is everything, in my personal opinion. Once you have your offer dialed in, the entire online business scales up very, very quickly. One thing I've learned is most online coaching businesses struggle to talk about what they have to offer. But we have a process that clarifies your message so your business starts growing again. Okay, so this week, a lot of you guys are putting out videos, you're putting out posts, and perhaps it's not really getting people to raise their hands and to jump in and want to work with you. What we want to do is help whoever's on here. There's a lot of people on this call, but the first 10 people that want help with their offer for absolutely free, I'm making you a special deal. So I'm taking 10 new people to help create their aligned offer and generate organic lead flow. So a few people kind of know your target market. Maybe you're not so clear on the result you give people, but very simply, I want to set up a call and have you clear on your offer, your positioning, and what type of content to create. So you're able to just put this out on social media and you generate leads, okay? So in order to qualify and make the most of this, you want to have these criteria, okay? You're already getting results for people, right? So you already know exactly how you want to help them. You have at least 2,000 social media followers. So that's 2,000 combined on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And you're willing to share your testimonial once we help you get your offer dialed in. And most importantly, willing to step out of your comfort zone. So I'm going to do some really powerful out-of-the-box methods to get this offer out of you, but also challenge you to create super vulnerable, authentic content to make you share your personality through entertainment, find out what your self-expression is, and put that into your content as well. It'll be like a game plan to getting your offer dialed in and also helping you get clarity on what type of content to create on your social media. And most importantly, the fifth criteria, because we have the 4 here, but the most important one is once you get this process, you're willing to keep a secret, okay? So keeping it between us and keeping it on the low, going through this process is kind of unorthodox, but it's very, very powerful. And again, for the first 10 people that want their aligned offer dialed in, you just go to this link over here, mimi.so/online coach, and I'll just post it inside the comments. And click on the link, copy and paste it, set up the time, and we're going to go aggressively on these things to help you with your aligned offer. Again, the most important thing is you have to have the criteria. So yeah, at least 2,000 followers, and you're willing to keep a secret, and you're willing to step out of the comfort zone with your content for the next few weeks. So once you go on there, find a time that works for you. I'm going to put you through the process of creating your content, positioning your online business, but also crafting your aligned offer. All right.